I started teaching in 1972. I was a bonded teacher, had the scholarship to get me through university, and then had to go anywhere in the state where I was sent and work for 3 years. So I was sent to Dubbo High, and that was 1972 when I arrived. And the English master said, well, here is the program, and handed me something from the previous syllabus, because 1972 was the start of a new English syllabus. I said, this isn't the syllabus that's current, and he said, well, I know nothing about that, so that's what you get, do what you like. And by the way, you have the first level Year 12 English class. So it was actually desperation that caused me to seek help, professional help, in teaching English.
I joined ETA in 1966. It was in desperation as much as anything, because up until that time I'd been a science teacher. Just like being a first year out teacher, only worse, with 9 years of teaching behind you. So I joined the English Teachers Association and met Graham Little and the people who were really important in getting English teachers involved in those days.
I joined the ETA, I think, the year after I graduated from Sydney Uni. So that would have been 66. Then in 1967 I was elected to the Executive Council of the ETA, along with, I think, Ross Arnold about the same year. We were the two young'uns on the executive.
I was extremely lucky that my first teaching appointment was North Sydney Girls High School. I remember marking the essay, the stories of a 3A class at the end of my first year of teaching, and commenting to the head of department that they were wonderful writers. The head of department was Marjorie Aldred, and she smiled at me and said, would you like to take that class next year? And I was absolutely thrilled, and I followed them through for 4 years, and it was the most profound experience in my teaching life. I've always been grateful to her. And then she said to me quietly one day, would you come and join the English Teachers Association? And I suppose I was about 24 or 5, and joining an association wasn't high priority for me at that point. I had other agendas, but I wanted to, be helpful and so on, and I knew I could give her a lift out to Ashfield.
I landed at Burwood Girls High School, and the English staff there was filled with luminaries from the ETA, Grace Bladwell, Jim Hogan, and what did they do? They threw me into the ETA.
I joined in the late 70s. Fran Lacey was my head teacher at Sefton High School, and instrumental in nudging me into involvement in the English Teachers Association.
I taught at Engadine High School, beginning teacher, and it was actually Dennis Fitzgerald who I was working with, and he kept saying, go on, join, go to a conference, you'll really love it, you'll love the people.
I found ETA at the library at the old Sydney Teachers College at Sydney University. I think it's the terror of the prac. When you're desperate for material and you think, oh my God, I'm the only one doing this and nobody's ever done this before, and I didn't know where to start. Well, I found my way via the librarian Jackie, who's still there by the way, at Sydney, to the ETA metaphor magazines. And they were like a font of all knowledge for me. I've gone, oh my God, somebody has done this before.
Barack Obama wasn't the first person to say, yes, we can. Way back it was those English teachers, and when anyone said, I can't do it, they'd say, yes, you can.
It was just inspiring to be amongst those people at that time. I was in a region where most of the head teachers were in their first position as head teachers. They led faculties which had predominantly very young, brand new teachers in their faculties.
I've had a consciousness of ETA going back to my time as a student at school in year 11 and 12. My English teacher at high school, Rod Leonardo, is a former president of the association, and he was always talking to us about the resources that ETA produced and was directing us quite often towards them. The journal and so on, which was kept in the library and had units of work and study guide questions and so on around texts that we were studying for the HSC. So it was always in my head, I guess, connected that as a teacher you became involved in your professional association.
I don't think we can ever forget the daunting prospect of being told you're going to teach Year 9 poetry, and you've gone, what poetry and how am I going to teach it? But luckily I had ETA there.
Membership of ETA is the best advice I give any young professional. I was very privileged when I taught at Balgala Boys, where Mark was a student. I had some fantastic senior classes, and I always said to them, there's not one point of view about a particular text. You need to read widely, think about different possibilities, so that you know, I was always giving people encouragement to go and read, get a different view on what we might have been discussing in the classroom. When you're dealing with texts like 1984 and Heart of Darkness, you don't want to be just having one narrow way of looking at something.
I joined ETA in the early 90s, and I must admit I was very timorous about that, a little bit frightened about it, because I could see the ETA as being the hub, the nub of English teaching.
In 1995, I returned to teaching after having 4 children and quite a long break. And coming back teaching at a mature age can be quite daunting if you've been away from the system for a while. And I found at first that very experienced teachers were reluctant to share, and I certainly had to learn very quickly how to become involved in teaching of English, and what was happening at the time was film, which was very, very new.
I did my Diploma of Education in the Faculty of Education at Sydney University. Rosalind Arnold, who was on council at the time, and Ken Watson were 2 of the lecturers, and I think it was Rosalind Arnold who suggested I join ETA, and I joined as a student teacher in 1978, and it was Rosalind again who I think in about 1980 or so suggested to me that I nominate for ETA Council.
I first became involved in ETA when I took up my first position as a head teacher back at Mount Druitt High School in 1997. As a relatively inexperienced head teacher, I was looking for forms of professional support, and I thought that becoming involved in ETA was going to be a valuable way to do that.
I was very fortunate that a flying circus came to Ballina, and with Eva Gold and Anne Small, and I went along, and it's the first time I'd heard these people that were so passionate about English and spoke so knowledgeably about film and all of the new things that I needed to learn. And so it was from that moment on I realised this is an association I needed to be part of.